fired up and perhaps have my expectation level raised by a few wins. And to do that, we bring in former BYU great, all-pro NFL tight end Chad Lewis. Chad, welcome to studio.
What's up? Good to be here. I'm starting to wonder if you guys are scaredy cats or something. What's up? 7 wins. Good night.
He said 6, by the way.
I just said get bowl eligible. That could mean 7. It could mean 8.
That could mean 12. Okay. Is that you think we're pansies for saying that?
I think you guys should set up a Studio C thing with some of their guys where they're in singlets and you can take them on. See if you're tough enough to take them. Well, I don't know right now.
That's in my contract. I do not engage with anyone in the singlet. Okay, do you have a number or an idea of what you think would be successful given new coaching staff and whatnot?
I like 9. I think
you like 9.
But at the same time, I come from a football player background where you get ready for every game. And I've never gone into any season saying, I think we'll win 9 and we'll lose so many. I think I want to win every game.
Sure.
And I want to prepare myself mentally, physically to win every game. And as a team, I want the team chemistry right to be in every game. So that's what I'm hoping for. I would like to win every game.
Absolutely. There is always this dynamic of teams not being as good as maybe we think that they will be. I mean, look at last year's schedule that BYU played. Missouri, down. Boise State was good, but not as good as they have been.
Connecticut was better.
Michigan was great. UCLA was a little bit down.
So UCLA is always the same. They're like the
most overrated college football program in the country, and I will stand by it until the day that I die.
Yeah, but we got to beat them.
But you have to beat them. They're coming to Provo on September 17th.
You can never talk smack about a team that just beat you.
Truth.
It's true.
There is a lot of truth in that statement.
We always say stuff about Utah. Never mind. Okay,
you can say whatever you want, but they've had a good run against us, so
yes,
you've got to turn it around.
I almost want to be fair to the new coaching staff, too, because I want to give them time to develop. Yeah, the standards at BYU are high, so how do you balance that?
Here's a good little example of how our coaches feel about these guys. I was with some boosters, donors, former players. They were walking off the practice field a month ago, and they asked Ty Detmer, what do you think? How's it looking? And the first thing he said was, Bronco Mendenhall and his staff left us with a pretty incredible team. These are talented guys. They're coached very well. They're disciplined. So it's not like we're taking over a bunch of hobos. These guys they're very good. And I loved it. I loved that. First of all, I love the credit he was giving to the former staff. He wasn't saying, I'm the guru. Okay, I know how to call offense. These guys, what were they doing? He was saying, hey, those were great coaches. They prepared these guys really well. And now that I'm seeing them practice, it's evident. And so
there are exceptions. I mean, Gary Croton inherited a really good team.
Luke Staley, Brandon Doman, those dudes were beasts.
Reno
went from
Mahe.
6 wins to 12. Like that was unbelievable.
There are exceptions, and so there are some similarities in that. Taysom Hill, Jamal Williams, Nick Kurtz, Tanner Mangum. And the defense is loaded too. So, not to say that even though there's a coaching staff, you have a great point there. They are inheriting some of the greatest football players to ever put on a BYU uniform.
It just depends on how hungry this team is, because they're very talented.
Not hungry.
But if they go through the summer thinking we're pretty sweet, they're going to get jacked up. If they go through the summer just being hungry and ready to play, working, pushing, not being ever satisfied, they're going to be good. And I feel like Max Hall, when he went into that season of his, where we went down to Dallas and we beat Oklahoma.
Oh, no.
The competition level all through summer with that team was pretty unique. I loved it. I could tell they were going to be tough, and they were. So I would like to see this team chemistry-wise, work ethic-wise, have a summer grinder mentality like that, where they're just burning to get on the field in Arizona.
The thing that I look at too is, okay, BYU's lifting weights. They've added more weight, if you will, to the schedule, but expecting the same result, they're going to have to do something even better than in the past. That's maybe the challenge that I see there. Is this schedule is awesome, and it's going to be fun to engage that way for a long time. BYU's going to have to bring it with this kind of schedule, and this is the beginning of a lot of tough schedules.
They're going to have to bring it, and I'll tell you how they do it. When you're teeing off on number one in a big tournament and the wind is in your face, do you swing harder or do you swing just a little bit smoother and focus a little bit more on your fundamentals?
Low and slow, man.
Correct. Low and slow.
Oh,
fundamentals.
That's what I have to do.
So here you got a big schedule. Do you freak out because, wow, we got a big schedule, we're playing big teams? No. You focus on your fundamentals, which is always in football, blocking, tackling, paying attention to details. And you go 1 minute at a time in practice through training camp. You go one game at a time. You don't ever look 1 second beyond where you are. and you just click away and you build team chemistry and momentum. And so if you look at, oh, we're playing all these sweet teams, we got to just dominate. Well, you do have to dominate, but the way to dominate is fundamentals, low and slow, one step at a time.
BYU 135 days away from game number 1 against Arizona, and the first of several fan fests happening in Arizona later this week. Chad Lewis will be there. And listen, the fan fests are part of building the hype machine and the excitement and creating that hunger, not just for the fans, but players are going with you too. What do you anticipate from these fan fests?
It's also a way for the coaches to build team chemistry with the players that get to go down there. They get to have a good opportunity to meet some recruits, meet fans that are down there. Wilfred Clyde and Scott Sharman, they're helping our guys fly down there so they can get back quickly, so they can be back here for workouts. This is an interesting combination. These fan fests, they really enlist almost every department in the athletic department to pitch in, to help, to prepare. So David Almadova, he's the maven with marketing. He's preparing it. But everyone is involved. And these fan fests are a chance for fans in outer-lying areas to get up close with the coaches, the players, to have time to talk to them. And the reason they got started was to go out into the public and say, thank you. BYU Nation is something fierce. Everywhere we go on the road and people come and cheer for us, way more than other teams, it's incredible.
It's amazing.
So this is an opportunity for us to go to them and say, thank you, we love it.
Let's talk about some of those. Saturday, it's in Arizona, as I mentioned, Mesa, Pioneer Park, which is right across from the Mesa, Arizona Temple. So Kalani Sitake, Ben Cahoon will be. There's a fireside as well Sunday, and that's something else that's cool. There'll be firesides this summer, which is kind of a different angle to this as well.
And that's something that Kalani wanted to do. He wanted to take the pressure off the players on Friday night. Focus Friday night on getting your mind, your heart, your body ready for Saturday. You're going to battle. So he wanted to take those firesides, which fans love. People love to come in and engage. Do those in the off season. Keep Friday nights for just full game prep. And that's his philosophy.
Chad Lewis with us on BYU Sports Nation, former BYU tight end great, played with the Philadelphia Eagles, was a Pro Bowler. When you look at the tight ends and how Ty Detmer has made it very evident, like we're going to implement them back into the offense. Yeah. We're going to utilize them as an offensive weapon. What do you expect in year number 1 with this return to the tight ends?
I expect to see some tight ends catching the ball, whether they're just dominating again or not. I'm not too worried about that right now. What I am worried about is just to see that the tight ends are in the mix, because once a tight end is in the mix, it opens up lanes for the run game. It opens up lanes for the deep ball, and it's just a perfect friend for the quarterback. There's no better friend than the big, huge target, 5 yards, 10 yards away from a quarterback. So I love that, Ty's emphasis is bringing it back. And we've had some really good tight ends in the past. You take dudes like me that were nothing special. You jump into a system that Coach Chow had, which is similar to what Ty's doing, and boom, you got a Johnny Harleen, you got a Dennis Pitta, you got a Tula Mealy, you got some great tight ends, and that's what I'm hoping for.
We've talked about Liz Frank quite a bit with you because you had a Liz Frank injury in the NFC Championship game that got you into the Super Bowl on a touchdown catch. Taysom Hill participated in spring, not fully, but maybe more than we thought. What did you think of kind of the progress physically for him?
He's perfect. He's right exactly where he should be with a Liz Frank injury. He wants to be going faster. Anyone that has a Liz Frank wants to be going faster. The problem with the Liz Frank injury is it is slow. Did you hear me? It's slow. But by the time the season's here, he will be fully ready to jump over people, dominate, throw, run. He's going to have his full accoutrement of everything. He will have nothing hindering him. He's going to be ready to rock and roll. Did you hear me?
In August or September, you think?
By July, he'll be rolling.
Wow. By July?
That's right.
Okay.
Really? Yeah.
Wow. What makes you say that?
Because I've been through it. I know we had the exact same Liz Frank injury. It was a longitudinal Liz Frank injury. I know where he is right now, and he's very close to being right there. So
wow.
I know by July he's going to be rolling.
So you think the full repertoire of Taysom Hill awesomeness will be on full display?
The repertoire. And I saw a little clip. I told him this morning. I said, I saw a little clip, a highlight clip of you like 10 minutes long that was so sweet. My kids were like, woo, I can't wait to see him again. And that's what he's going to be doing. I mean, it's fun to see him throw, run, just do what he does. He's a fun player to watch. And same with Tanner. I mean, should anything happen to Taysom, we got a stud warrior ready to rock and roll. So those two, they work well together. I'm pumped.
They hungry.
They're hungry.
I love.
They got some strength.
I want people to see what we saw during the commercial break, Chad, and that is we call those the 4K blue goggles. The world looks amazing with
Yeah.
those on.
These things are tight. To wear these, you got to be a choosy lady. Choosy lady.
You're saying 10 or 11 wins through this thing.
Undefeated. Let's go. National championship. I'm ready. Bring them on.
Chad Lewis with us in Studio B. Okay, you can keep those on or take
Thank
them off,
you.
whatever you
They're
want to
cool.
do.
It's
I don't have
America.
much
Do
hair,
what
so
you
I got to
want.
shield my bald head from the sun. These can do it.
You're looking
The
fresh.
sun,
man.
otherwise, aka the lights in here, man.
You're looking fresh. Before you go, I want to follow up on something that you brought up in December when we were talking to you in Vegas, in that balmy December Vegas weather outside the Hard Rock.
Watching you guys jump in that pool.
Well, one of us, yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, okay. You said that you were participating with the NFL in determining what a catch is. And,
Correct.
And there were meetings there. Has there been any progression with that? Anything determined there?
There was a catch committee. It was Steve Largent. It was Tim Brown. It was Chris Carter. It was Randy Moss.
It was Chad
It was
Lewis.
Jordy Nelson by
Chad
the phone.
Lewis was in
Chad
there.
Lewis. That's right. I ain't no chump. And so
Be hungry.
we were together talking about what constitutes a catch. We were basically, the room was divided. And I sat with Tim Brown, Steve Largent on what constituted a catch. In my mind, once you catch the ball, and every receiver knows what a catch is because the ball will go, you caught it. As soon as you go and get 2 feet down, in my mind, and in a drunk fan's mind, that's a catch. So when the referee goes over and puts his head under the hood and looks, I wanted to make as simple as possible for that referee. Take every distraction out of it. I want him to say, was that a catch or was that not a catch? I want to reward the defense for punching the ball out, making a great play. To me, a catch is simple.
You got to hear
2 feet.
that.
Right. So, but other people wanted to have a catch, make a football move. And the reason they wanted to make a football move is that protects the wide receiver from a helmet-to-helmet hit. Because once you catch the ball and make a football move, now you are a running back. You can be exploded on just like any other player. And so I understood the logic that Chris Carter and others had. I would like to see this continue, get more current players in the room talking catch committee stuff. And I do want it to be more simple for the fans so that when they are watching the game, Des Bryant catches against Green Bay, gets
was
down
just
to
gonna
the
ask,
one.
yeah.
It's like everyone knows that was
That
a catch.
was a
I want everyone to
catch.
say,
That's a catch?
in my mind, that's a catch
Okay.
because he caught the ball, he reached,
Yeah.
it was like elbow, wrist, extension,
And then
and then.
So was it determined what a catch
The
is? or
NFL
they're still figuring it
determined,
out?
they stuck with the fact
Okay.
that that was not a catch because you got to secure it. And I like Chris Carter in the catch committee said, look, the NFL standards, we're not talking junior high standards. The NFL is the highest standard in football. I want all these college players to meet the standards of the NFL. And I agree with what he was saying. I like it.
okay, you have succeeded in getting me more hyped for
Let's
the
go.
season
Let's
and
go.
for football. Maybe that
You sit in the studio too long, you get soft. You know, you got to be careful.
We need some weights in here, man.
we
Some mental weights.
Clearly, we need to hit the
We have
bench.
too many reps.
Chad, great to talk to you. Safe travels
Thanks,
to
you guys.
Arizona.
Thank you.
Check them out, the Fan
We need to
Fest
sign our new flag.
in
I-
Mesa, Arizona. Throw on the blue goggles.
Good.
All right. And yes, you need to sign our new BYU Sports Nation Stretch Y flag.